Hey Roger, my name is Dennis Feidner, and thanks for taking some time to talk to Mary yesterday. I've got your questionnaire here. I'd like to keep these pretty short for the first go round. So if you see what you like here, or like you like what you see, it's early in the morning here, um, let us know. We'll get you set up for a full demo. But as a new company, it really is nice that you're thinking about starting out with a full construction suite rather than trying to piecemeal something together to save money. So let me go through this real quick. I like to do them kind of in order of what I think are important. So, you can buy any accounting system and it's going to write your checks and it's going to do your bills. But where Sage 100 really adds some value is we do that whole project management uh, suite, which includes change orders, purchase orders, cost complete analysis. And then here are some things I think you would use, and that's our daily field reports, RFIs, transmittals, submittals. Those are the things that really drive the business. I mean, paying bills you got to do, but if you can manage your change orders, you can manage all of the paper that's going back and forth between you and the client. That's where the money's made or lost. And so, I'm just going to jump into change orders and I'm just going to pull one up that we've already got filled out here to save some time. And I always like to show what you get, and then we'll show you how we got there. But so you're gonna get change order obviously with your logo, your ID, who it's to, the project. But what I like is, and this is kind of in the AIA format down here at the bottom. It's a real nice summary. Yeah, you got a change order for 2,300, but where are we on the project? So, as he signs this new change order, being the owner, we reminded him that that was his original contract. $6,900 worth of change orders have already been approved. We're adding another 2,300 to this, so now your new contract value is 91,000, and we added 10 days of extension to the contract based on this change order requirement. It's nice because this number here, this 90,000, it's a reminder in front of the owner. Because how many times have you heard, uh, wait a second, I thought we had an $80,000 contract. How do we get to 90,000? So every time he signs a change order, it's bringing him up to date on the new contract value. So, and while I'm here, this can be printed right from the system. It can be faxed from the system, or it can be emailed from the system. But depending on what you select on the top up here. But basically, we give it a job number. We go through here. We have two tabs, Roger. One is, this is my budget, and this happened to be a sub item, but I got a budget of 1850. It was your own items, and you're doing it yourself. You would have your material, your labor, and your equipment costs going through here with the budgeted man hours and your budgeted units. You come up with the same thing, but the nice part is that we knew we estimated 1850. We asked them for 2400, and we got approved for 2300. So all that details now in the system, so I can go back at any point in time and see the profit by change order. I can see what I requested and what I got approved to see if I'm getting what I'm asking for or not. And so a lot of things we can do with this data later on. And one of the things you can do, there's a button up top here. It looks like a pair of binoculars. If I know I'm going to meet with an owner this today, or he's coming by the job, I can basically just double click this. I'm just going to run it for all the jobs. This is just some sample data. But now I have, for job number 2, I know all of the change orders that I have. And you know what? If I don't remember one, I can come in here and double click this and get right back to that change order. So I have a list of them in front of me while I'm talking to the owner. So I'm going to close that. Close that. One of the other things I think is important is our daily field reports. And you can do this in a log, and you can do this in a diary. But by logging in to the system or entering this information, we now know what job we worked on, what we were doing, who was managing it, what the weather was like in case there's some kind of claim for damages for extension of time, what employees worked, if it's a prevailing wage project, what pay group did they work in, and how many hours did they work. If I had subs on the job, I can document what subs were there and how long they were there. If I'm using my own equipment and I want to charge that to the job, then I can document that as well. And then down the bottom, there's a place, if there's an accident, we can document that. If I had a meeting, I can come in here and have different kinds of meetings. And this notepad is 90 pages long. So don't let this little column fool you. Once you open that up, you have about 90 pages of notes that you can enter. But the nice part is that now becomes a permanent part of the job. And so at any time I can drill back a year from now, 2 years from now, if I need to know who was on that job, what we were doing on that day because of some kind of claim, I have it. I don't have to go look for that logbook in a file cabinet or what have you. And if you look at the top right-hand corner, there's a little paper clip here, and it's white, which means I've attached something to this. And actually, it could be. I thought I clicked it. It could be a picture above the job. It could be a plan. It could be a signed work order from the owner. It could be whatever. You can attach anything you want here: emails, Word documents, Excel documents, or anything that you've scanned in. Now, again, you can't do that with a logbook because now I got the pictures there of showing that somebody ran over something or something was in the way of where I needed to work. I can take a picture of it and attach it there. So those are change orders. Then I'll follow through on that daily field report real quick. If I use the daily field report and I fill that out every day correctly, and I want to do my time cards for the week, one of my options now is to import data from those daily field reports. So if I fill out those daily field reports, now my time cards can be filled out automatically from that information. So nobody's going to have to key it in a second time. So it does save you a lot of time. So on payroll, certified payrolls, I understand it may be important to you at some point. And so you saw that was one mouse click. I'm just going to click a couple more times here. So with about 3 mouse clicks, I've produced the Department of Labor, which is the normally accepted form, probably 99% of the time, and I'm done. I now print that out, and it has the second page where it has all of the signature places, what have you. But the bottom line is, by entering the payroll and putting in that pay group and putting in the right job, I've produced the certified payroll automatically. Same thing with workers' comp reports. And the other thing, if you looked at QuickBooks or you're looking at something else, a lot of those don't charge the fully burdened payroll to your job costs. They charge what you paid the guy, but doesn't include all of that workers' comp, unemployment insurance, your Social Security match, your health benefits if you're paying those. Those all get charged to our job costs as we do the payroll. So I wanted to go into one more thing here that you had asked to see. So in cost to complete, we can do it in dollars if you want to do dollars, but most subs use one of these two. I find one has some hours in here. This is by cost code, so these will be the items of work for you. It could be demo, it could be loading trucks, it could be sorting materials, whatever. As long as you can identify the work and you had budgeted hours to do that item, then payroll is going to record the hours that you actually processed against those codes. And it's going to allow you to come into this column, and the only place you can change anything here is I'll actually make this third item here. I'll just say this is a really good item. I'm not 80% complete. So I change that to 80, just like in Excel. I would recalc that. So now I need 9 hours to complete that, and I'm going to be almost 14 hours under budget to do that task. That's great information for your future jobs because I can go back now and look at tasks and see how long they took. Did I make my man-hour budget or I didn't? Now, once you get your guys in the field trained right to report their payroll accurately, which is sometimes a chore, you can do something like this. And this happens to be a heavy highway job. So I'm going to look at this third line item just here. I had a budgeted dollars of 39,000 or 37,000, I'm sorry. And I budgeted units, and that could be cubic yards, square feet, linear feet, eaches, don't care. As long as you can measure it, Roger, you want to put a quantity in here, and I'll show you why. There's my budgeted costs. Those are the number of units I had estimated on the job. This is what I've had in my system so far: payroll, equipment costs, sub cost, material cost. And they've finished 200 on this. And that, again, this is the only column that can actually change here. They've completed 200 of those 480 units. Well, I can tell you that I budgeted 77, and it's costing me 70. On this top line item, which is my bad item, I budgeted 86, and I'm spending 138. And so it does a bunch of calculations to the right. But as you do more work and more jobs, you're going to have great history here to know what it's costing per unit so that you know when you bid the next job, are you in the ballpark or not? Or are you still bidding 85 when it's costing you 100. Oops, my mouse off a little bit. And it's costing you 137. The last 5 jobs you did spent up between 135 and $140. But if you're still bidding 85, you got an issue. But if you can, know that that's what it's costing you, and you put that in your bid, yeah, maybe you won't get as many jobs as you've been getting, but you're going to get profitable jobs, and that's what we're after. It's quality, not quantity, in our business. Anyway, those are some of the things it does. We do T&M billings. We do the 702, 703 billings. If you want to see them, I'll print them out and email them to you. Great system, affordable, and since you're a new company, pretty easy to get up and running because we don't have to load in a bunch of beginning balances and a lot of history. So the startup cost should be minimal for you. So anyway, if this is something that makes sense for you and you want a proposal, just send me back an email and we'll get somebody here to take care of that for you. So anyway, hey, have a great week and a great weekend. And if you need something, just give us a call. Again, my name's Dennis. Phone number is 800-659-5851. So 800-659-5851. And probably the best way to reach me is by email because I always reply to those quickly. Thank you.